Here's a story of the fire and the game. Can you deduce the parts which aligns with your world? The whale is a special type of whale which can only communicate in a specific frequency. Let's call it the 52 Hertz whale. The whale found it really hard to reach the banks of the conservatory where it can transform itself into a human for a while, talk to others, and live there for 3 months. The whale is extremely tired and has come a long way, swimming and rising up the levels of the ocean against the tide. It can now either give up and go to the rest arena, where the other people promise that they will take turns and grow as well as cook food together, or it can itself transform into a human, since was granted a wish by a magician. But for the second circumstance, it still has a long way to go the other side. It can be human for an additional 3 months if it takes the other path. The whale decided to live with the humans for 3 months. The whale whole had turned into a lady. The place was a mystic place, and time skipped really fast there. 1 month seemed like 10 years. There was a premonition associated with the island. An entity from an outworldly space would reach the island to save it from the catastrophe. 3 months, 30 years passed by, and only then did the outworldly entity land in the island. It felt like déjà vu. Something like this should have happened before. By then, the land had become so toxic and unsustainable that it was almost difficult to breathe. A laughing gas tank in one of the factories had exploded, and now people do not know how to naturally laugh. It is now going to take longer to repair the climate and environment to bring back sustenance. The whale wasn't prepared for what was going to come. If it had gone to the other side and spent just 3 more months to understand and learn itself and the dynamics of the changing skill market, it could have now used those skills to execute those strategies or technologies. Two stories come to my mind: Ramayana and the manga One Outs. Hanuman is a mythical warrior with the rage of a storm, and Takuchi is a genius baseball pitcher. Hanuman's rage becomes his strength as he sets Lanka ablaze, with the Rakshasas futilely trying to douse the flames. His fire isn't just destruction, it's an unstoppable force of resilience, powered by purpose and the deep understanding that his fury fuels transformation. In the same way, Tokuchi Tua enters the world of One Outs, a professional baseball league where every game is governed by a contract that twists every loss into a personal gain. Despite the odds, Takuchi remains undefeated because he plays the game by understanding its rules, turning adversity into an advantage. I call it the epidemic of obsoleteness in the world of change. Confusion in decision-making for anyone is an epidemic. As simple as finding the right company or candidate, finding the right mentor is an epidemic. In the world today, the youth, the elderly, and workers each face their own sea of opportunities, but instead of freedom, they often find themselves lost. For the youth, the sea is overwhelming with too many options, but no clear path. For the elderly, the sea represents a sense of irrelevance as society moves forward without them. For workers, it's a sea of exploitation, where the promise of success often drowns in systemic oppression. But like Hanuman's fire and Takuchi's mastery of the game, each individual must learn to navigate these turbulent waters, finding the fire within to push forward. Through strategic thinking, resilience, and purpose, the sea isn't a mirage, but a place where dreams can take shape. This is a journey of learning and designing with dreamers, where understanding the rules can turn challenges into triumphs and fire into transformation.